hey, they're having a good time over there. And shout out to our friends at Pelican Express, on Twitter. They posted a picture that surfaced from Las Vegas and said, I just want to know what the John Murray said to get Herb Jones to a club in Las Vegas. And I wish you could see this picture, Big Dave. It's Herb, it's DeJounte, some Charlie, best gentlemen around. But going back to exactly, not heavy at all. But going back to the basketball, there's something about this guy out there playing basketball. Not just enjoying the decisive sound of all things. Carlo Makovic was the guy we talked about on Friday. We were paying attention to coming into the summer league, right? Well, the Pelicans, as of yesterday, have signed him to a contract extension, and he's going to play this season. I don't know if he's going to be the starting center. This is someone who was the second round pick for the Pelicans back in the 2023 draft. So his tenure was on the team for a while. He played overseas for 4 years at the Pelicans back then, and then last year he stepped into the G League Birmingham. So he's going to get a chance. Still kind of an unknown commodity, Big Fave. Maybe he'll be good. Maybe he won't. But we're definitely watching him that much closer in the summer league now.
Oh, no doubt. We have to keep an eye on it. And I do think he gets better, right, Mario? Because you spend a little time overseas, you spend a little time in the G League. Now you're basically a lot more seasoned than when we drafted, when you first came out. So does he start? You know, who knows? But I like the fact that Coach Willie Green has a couple of options right now. He has a few guys he can look at and say, yes, this young man will be good in our league a little later. So Missy, you may not have to depend on him to play a big role. I'm excited to see both, and I'm just glad we have more depth across the line.
Yeah, young talent is a good thing, and I think that's a big difference when you talk about the David Griffin Pelicans and the Dell Demps Pelicans, which were not a very well-run operation at all. But the Pelicans did lose again last night in the Summer League, 91-86 against the Magic. And I wrote down a few things from the game, Big Fave, that I thought were notable. Jordan Hawkins is struggling a little bit. Didn't play well in the first game, at least didn't shoot the ball well. And then in this game against the Magic, he had 24 points, but it was on 6 of 18 shooting, and he was 1 of 9 from the field at halftime. I honestly listened to the play-by-play. I listened to Gus and Aaron, but people that watched the game told me that he struggled a little bit with the physicality, and he also had 7 turnovers in the game. So I'm trying not to be worried, Big Fave. Like, I know it's just Summer League, but we talked on Friday about Jordan Hawkins getting more opportunity this year, getting more run. And if the Pelicans are going to be the best version of themselves, I think he needs to get it going. So hopefully he's able to do that a little bit more the rest of this Summer League.
Me too, Mario, because I think he has a lot of potential. I do think, I mean, right now, of course, we have to look at his play in Summer League and see some of the areas that he's not as efficient as we want him to be. But as the Summer League continues to go, as the season, early games start to go, we need him to have a better rhythm. We need him to be able to take those shots confidently, be able to recognize the different defenses right away so you can know how to attack offensively, and just being able to play aggressive and do what you have to do to succeed.
Yeah, it can't be a repeat of last year. I think he needs to be on the court, and if he's not, that's a failure on the coaches. I mean, this is a player who, national champion, obviously at UConn, but he broke the three-point record by a guy you may have heard of named Ray Allen that went to that school. So don't tell me he can't play in the NBA. I feel like he needs to be an instrumental part of the Pelicans this year. And there were a couple of other notable things, I guess, from this game against the Magic. Jordan Ford started as a point guard this game, had 13 points. He's been having a good summer league. And then Antonio Reeves, a second-round pick out of Kentucky, also had 12 points off the bench. So that was good to see. And then Yves Missi, I thought, played a lot better in the second game than the first game. Big Fave. He had 9 points, three rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 blocks. And this was really funny. Listen to this quote from Pelicans coach Aaron Miles after the game. This is some brutal honesty. He said, and I quote, "That was beautiful to see, man," talking about Misi. "He didn't get no defensive rebounds out there. He can do a better job of that. Part of that is defending and keeping his guy off the glass, but nevertheless, you see his ability." So you see the raw potential, but definitely still has a ways to go, according to his coach.
Got a little ways to go, and I like Coach being candid about him and talking about the different things. They want to see him do better defensively. But like, as I mentioned earlier, I think he's going to be a top star in here. You look at his Baylor tape and how athletic he looks. You know, it's cool to be athletic at that position, and a position that we didn't get a lot of consistency in with the Pelicans this past season. But I do think, as I mentioned, the young guys, like I mentioned earlier, the younger players stepping up and doing the necessary things that they have to do, and so on and so forth. So, and then you talk about a guy that we just drafted, Reeves. We talked about him on the show on Monday. Somebody, those numbers don't surprise me. Playing at a high level of basketball, SEC basketball, is some success. So overall, it's all good.
Yeah, we'll see if he's able to get the point guard rotation for the Pels. But somebody that we know will be in it and that will start at point guard is DeJounte Murray. And as I look at the interesting comments David Griffin made when he did a TV interview the other day from Las Vegas, he was talking about DeJounte Murray. And this is a quote directly from David Griffin. He said about DeJounte, "One of the things that happened when he went from San Antonio to Atlanta, he became much less ball dominant. He was playing off a ball dominant play creator in Trae Young. A lot of what makes DeJounte special is his ability to make the right read." And I think it will be good for him, but think about how much that'll help out players like Murphy, like CJ McCollum, that won't have to put the ball on the floor as much. So hopefully he does get back to his San Antonio form, and hopefully it helps the rest of the Pelicans as well.
I hope so, and I do, as you mentioned, just him getting back into the rhythm of things. The rhythm is going to be exceptional. I mean, it's going to be extremely important. And again, Mario, this is a team that sat right on the cusp. Like, they were right there. They were legit right there on the cusp of making a big playoff run. They really were. So I think if they continue to improve in those areas we talked about, ball handling, if they continue to improve in rebounding, a better rebounding position from better rebounds from the center, I think they'll be good.
Hopefully so. And one more comment that Griffin made that I thought was interesting was talking about the center position. He said, "I know everybody thinks we have to invest in the center position a little bit, but we're actually really excited about what we have now. We're excited to play small and play fast." So that makes me think that you're going to see some non-center lineups, or you're going to see some guys at the five that you normally don't see. Maybe you see a little bit of Zion at center. Maybe you see a little bit of Herb Jones at center as well. And I think that's good. I think the Pelicans' big fave can maybe take some blueprints from a team like the Knicks. They had some injuries to Julius Randle, to Robinson, and they didn't have that traditional big guy. But guys that normally don't play center, thinking of Josh Hart, really stepped up in that regard. And kind of as a team, they were just really good at rebounding. The Pelicans might be in a similar situation going into this year. And I'm curious how they've run some of these small ball lineups. Hey, yo, big fave.
Green just being extremely strategic and how he plays his bigs, how he plays his medium-sized guys, and finding that balance. Running, I don't mind seeing Herb at center. Why? Because Herb plays aggressive. Is he your prototypical center? I don't think so. But again, he plays aggressive. He's going to get up on plays. He's one of the better defenders in our league. So being very creative with him. And even Herb, yes, he did an excellent job defensively last year. But how you going to do it in regards to improving your shooting, whether it's a 20-foot shot, whether it's shooting the three, and being able to be all around in those areas as well.
Pelicans take on the Spurs in Las Vegas tomorrow. Late tip, 9:30. One segment left in the hour here on Inside the Trenches. We'll come back, talk a little bit about the soccer game yesterday. It took forever to get started because the fans were wilding, so Columbia fans specifically. And I want to get Big Fave's take on that. We'll talk more Saints later on in the show. This is Inside the Trenches, live from Small Sliders in Marrero on ESPN Radio New Orleans.
Get ready, Greater New Orleans area, the big one, the great
brand
Southern
new offer. We now provide affordable storage sheds. Stop wasting your money on overpriced storage units and portable containers. Step Construction can provide you with a custom shed that will fit your budget and storage needs. So contact Step Construction today at 504-340-5809 for your own personal quote. Let us help you take the next step at Step Construction.
Hello, somebody. It's Marlon Big Fave Favorite with Inside the Trenches podcast. Do you need a quick car wash? Well, if that's a yes, you need to visit Crown Car Wash, 1336 Stumpf Boulevard, Gretna, Louisiana, on the West Bank, baby. Crown's the best. You get a spotless wash, nice clean tires, reasonable pricing, and free vacuuming. My favorite part about Crown Car Wash, they open 24/7. That's right, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can visit Crown Car Wash on the West Bank, baby, and let them know you heard about them on Inside the Trenches podcast with Marlon Big Fave Favorite. Watch out there now.
It's that boy Fred, host of FanView Podcast. Tune into the NOTN app weekdays, 3:30 for the FanView Podcast. Go to NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com to watch more episodes of FanView Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch.
Well, hello, it's Marlon Big Fave Favorite with Inside the Trenches podcast. Are you looking for a brand new car? Or you're tired of what you're driving around in? Or you just need wheels? Well, if that's the case, you need to visit Montero Motors, 1512 North Causeway, Metairie, Louisiana. At Montero Motors, our buddy Alberto will get you in a vehicle that fits you that day with no problem. They have vehicles that are pre-owned. You could do a trade-in that day and ride off in something that day. Visit MonteroMotors.com for more information and let them know you heard about them on Inside the Trenches podcast. Hello.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
Are you looking for your dream home? Well, if that's the case, you need to contact Joe Picolo at Godwyn Realty, right here in New Orleans. Joe can put you in your dream home right away. Joe Picolo and the folks over at Godwyn Realty put you in the house that you need. Even if you're looking to invest in some property, they'll do an excellent job with that as well. Contact Joe today at 504-251-8341. Again, that phone number is 504-251-8341. And also contact Joel at joel.godwynrealty.com. No need to dream anymore. Godwyn Realty will put you in the dream house of your reality. Hello, somebody. Are you a student athlete looking to take your career to the next level? Look no further than Conquer Sports Pro.
On Inside the Trenches, Mario Jerez joined by Big Fave Marlon Favorite over at the defensive line retreat over there in Dallas. Man, Big Fave, I don't know if you follow the Pelicans on Twitter, but they used to have a tradition that every time they won a game, they would show a video of this pelican, like a live pelican, basically just strutting somewhere, and this song would be in the background. They need to bring that back.
I think that would be dope, man. Look, I shout out to the Pels. They show man love. They play hello somebody at the games. I can't wait to be at a game to hear it, man. That would be pretty cool. I went last year, but I didn't hear it. But yeah, they could definitely bring that back. I think it'll be hype.
Yes, those were good times, and I love that song. That's crazy that that's old school Ross now, but such is life in 2024. We talked about it a little bit before the break. Big Fave. not too many sports going on right now. Like, we'll have the MLB All-Star game tonight. We still have the rest of the MLB season, but kind of starving for football, right? And for me, this Copa America final yesterday and the Euro final were like the last time I'm going to sit down and watch sports before football season comes, at least when I'm invested. And this was some good games. These were some good games yesterday. Spain beat England 2-1 to become the European champions. So Madrid really lit today. Barcelona really lit today. And I know they're celebrating in Argentina as well because they beat Colombia in the Copa America final last night. But this was a crazy story, Big Fave. I don't know if you saw this, but this game last night was supposed to start at 8 o'clock Eastern, but it didn't start till 9:22 at night. And that's because there were delays in the game because a lot of people were trying to get into the stadium illegally. And there are a lot of videos on social media showing fans, and honestly mostly Columbia fans, but they literally broke through the southwest gate at Hard Rock Stadium. And you see them getting tackled by police. You see them being apprehended. And this was a logistically not a very good job by the people at Hard Rock. They clearly underestimated the crowd here, and they had to delay the game an hour 22 minutes just to make sure that everybody that got tickets got into the stadium and got there safely. So that was a pretty crazy scene last night, man.
Right, and then for Argentina to pull off a 1-0 victory with all those distractions before, look how low the score was. It just it's funny, you know, we're talking about just filling in space for sports until football season officially kicks off, and what a way to do it. And of course, I definitely have an even better way. We probably could talk about this maybe in the second half of the show. That Madden, that NCAA 25 dropped today. So happy to all my NCAA college football fans. Happy release date. So that's been, of course, crowding my timeline while I've been out here. So I've been seeing that. And Mario didn't get a chance to play it yet, but I can't wait.
Man, what's that like for you, man? Because you were actually in the video game back in the day, and that was before, you know, the days of NIL. So it was just like wide receiver number 84. I guess you would have been DL number 99. It must be really cool for all the OG players to see this come back now.
It is, man, and I'm excited to see the 07 team that we played on, and to look at that 05 Texas team with Vince Young. Those classic games, I saw a couple of the Ultimate teams released. I saw Tyrann Mathieu on it, and it's going to be fun. I like the cover boys. The first team I'm gonna play with, of course, LSU. I mean, why not? But you know, after that, I definitely want to play with Colorado. And just have fun and remembering my younger days playing Madden when Deion Sanders was a lockdown corner, and now you get to play with his son at quarterback. And I think it's exciting. I know a lot of our folks that's probably listening right now, taking their rides home, probably already pre-ordered it and ready to roll.
Man, I know I texted my friend because I had a friend that I used to play, and let's just say we used to have some really spirited games. We used to make little wagers and stuff, and I texted him this afternoon, like, you're getting the game, right? And he's like, yep. And I'm like, cool, just tell me when to come over. So I'm sure that's the case for a lot of people, reuniting some old rivalries. So that'll be cool. Before we move on to the next topic, did you play that a lot when you were actually at LSU? Like, was the 07 team, like, competing as hard on the sticks as they were on the field?
Oh, no doubt, man. We were constantly. It was always times where we were making little bets on who gonna win college. I remember I used to always play with USC. I used to be cold with USC. We would have fun. It was fun to see yourself on the game too. So a lot of times we would play with the high school memories, college memories of playing NCAA.
Yeah, man. I used to cut up with Isaiah Crowell in Georgia. It was kind of a random team. Their defense was really good, but in the latest version of the game, that's who I was really good with. So maybe I'll be Georgia just for old time's sake. But before we wrap up the segment here, I wanted to ask you if you have any interest in this MLB All-Star game tomorrow night. I said in the last segment it was tonight. I was mistaken. Tonight is the Home Run Derby, and tomorrow at 7 is the traditional All-Star game between the NL and AL. But baseball seems like the last sport, Big Fade, that has anything resembling like a competitive All-Star game. Because the NBA All-Star game is pretty much just a joke now. Like, it's not competitive. And the Pro Bowl in the NFL isn't even a football game anymore. So that being said, do you have any interest in this MLB All-Star game? Paul Skeen's getting the start, by the way. Shout out to LSU.
Shout out to LSU. For Paul Skeen, I'm definitely checking it out. I'm not really a big baseball head. Folks who do listen to this show, they know I reach out to Hunt, talk a lot about LSU baseball. But for this one, yeah, and for the sake of what you're saying too, Mario, like, just a given fact that it is like really out of one of the core sports here in America. It is one that's still super competitive. So I do look forward to catching at least a little bit of the highlights for sure.
Yeah, and I don't mean to sound like an old man, but, like, I'm really happy I got to live that era of, like, the competitive All-Star games. I remember when the NBA All-Star game was here in 2008, Kobe Bryant actually played in that game with a splint on his finger. Like, he was dealing with an injury, but he was so competitive, he wanted to go out there and play against the best in the world. And then I think it was a 2006 or 2005 Pro Bowl maybe. Sean Taylor played for the NFC, and I forgot who the AFC punter was, but he just took him completely out, like Madden hit stick, because the Pro Bowl was that competitive back in the day. So it sucks that kids of this generation won't get to experience that, but I'm glad we at least lived that era, Big Fave, because it was a fun era.
I do. I miss that. All that was fun. This was like we call that, you know, the folks from our era, we call that real football. It was just competitive. You mentioned Kobe with the splint. Like, no, I want to play in this game. Yeah, it's an all-star game. But I kind of like what Joe Burrow said about, like, rearranging everything. Like, moving around the, you know, when they play their Pro Bowl and doing those different things. Hey, who knows, man? And we try to make it fun for the kids. We're just glad when we were kids, it was off the chain.
Yes, sir. Well said. Big Faye joining us from the defensive line retreat over there in Dallas. We are live from Small Sliders in Marrero here along the West Bank. That'll do it for hour number 1. Coming up in hour number 2, we'll recap what Brian Kelly said at SEC Media Days. We'll talk a little bit of NFL futures ahead of this football season. More football talk to come. Mario Jerez, Marlon Favorite. This is Inside the Trenches on ESPN Radio New Orleans 100.3.
Step Construction is here for you with a brand new offer. We now provide affordable storage sheds. Stop wasting your money on overpriced storage units and portable containers. Step Construction can provide you with a custom shed that will fit your budget and storage needs. So contact Step Construction today at 504-340-5809 for your own personal quote. Let us help you take the next step at Step Construction.
Hello, somebody. It's Marlon Big Fave Favorite with Inside the Trenches podcast. Do you need a quick car wash? Well, if that's a yes, you need to visit Crown Car Wash, 1336 Stumpf Boulevard, Gretna, Louisiana, on the West Bank, baby. Crown's the best. You get a spotless wash, nice clean tires, reasonable pricing, and free vacuuming. My favorite part about Crown Car Wash, they open 24/7. That's right, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can visit Crown Car Wash on the West Bank, baby, and let them know you heard about them on Inside the Trenches podcast with Marlon Big Fave Favorite. Watch out there now.
It's that boy Fred, host of FanView Podcast. Tune into the NOTN app weekdays, 3:30 for the FanView Podcast. Go to NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com to watch more episodes of FanView Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch.
Well, hello, it's Marlon Big Fave Favorite with Inside the Trenches podcast. Are you looking for a brand new car? Or you're tired of what you're driving around in? Or you just need wheels? Well, if that's the case, you need to visit Montero Motors, 1512 North Causeway, Metairie, Louisiana. At Montero Motors, our buddy Alberto will get you in a vehicle that fits you that day with no problem. They have vehicles that are pre-owned. You could do a trade-in that day and ride off in something that day. Visit MonteroMotors.com for more information. And let them know you heard about them on Inside the Trenches podcast. Hello.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
Are you looking for your dream home? Well, if that's the case, you need to contact Joe Picolo at Godwyn Realty, right here in New Orleans. Joe can put you in your dream home right away. Joe Picolo and the folks over at Godwyn Realty put you in the house that you need. Even if you're looking to invest in some property, they'll do an excellent job with that as well. Contact Joe today at 504-251-8341. Again, that phone number is 504-251-8341. And also contact Joel at joel.godwynrealty.com. No need to dream anymore. Godwyn Realty will put you in the dream house of your reality. Hello, somebody. Are you a student athlete looking to take your career to the next level? Look no further than Conquer Sports Pros. That's right, Conquer Sports Pros. Our team of experts will get you guys on the right path to your student athlete journey in life. That's right, we have every position in football you need, and we also help out with other sports. At Conquer Sports Pros, you have everything from a list of consultation, training, and also media training. Yeah, that's right, when you take your career to the next level, play college and hopefully pro, you'll get lots of interviews. Call Conquer Sports Pros today. You can reach them at 504-319-6672 or visit marlonfavorite.com for more information. Hello, somebody.
Is Inside the Trenches. Hello, somebody, is what Big Fave normally says. He is joining us via telephone line from the Pass Rush Retreat over there in Dallas, presented by the Official Sports Academy. Big Fave, appreciate the time, man. No, it's kind of weird, honestly, being here at Smalls without you, but we holding it down with Tarek, and I'm excited to wrap up the show so I can eat some food, man. I hope you're jealous of me. You should be.
I'm sorry, I was going in and out. Say that again, Mark.
All good. I said I'll get sliders tonight, and you don't. So, haha.
Oh, you got me, man. I know you, hey, bro. So you know what you gotta get. You gotta get the biggest. You know what I'm saying? Get the double. Go ahead and put a little bit of that small on.
Oh, boy, I cannot wait till 7:56. But we teased a little bit at the end of the first hour. They're Big Fave, and actually it's close to you. You're in Dallas. The SEC Media Days are taking place in Dallas right now, and sure enough, LSU goes on the first day. Brian Kelly takes the podium today. He was also joined by Harold Perkins, Garrett Nussmeier, and Mason Taylor, who are the players representing LSU today. And I thought he made a couple of interesting quotes here, Big Fave, and I want to go over a couple of them with you. Before we get into the quotes, though, what do you think of Brian Kelly just in general? Seems really poised, really comfortable, and we'll get into some of the quotes illustrating this, but he seems to have high expectations for his team this season, which you're going to see from some media you won't, but that's something you do like to see from your head coach if you're an LSU fan.
Oh, no doubt. And Coach Kelly, he's always cool, calm, and collective. I didn't get a chance to catch a lot of it, but I of course I was on Twitter trying to figure bits and pieces out. But yeah, man, Coach is always cool, calm, and collective.
Yes, and he's a lot better spoken than the last couple of LSU coaches. No offense to Bless and Coach O, love those guys, but Brian Kelly a lot more buttoned up and a little bit better with his words, to be honest with you. But we talked about him putting high expectations on this team, Big Fave, and this is a direct quote from Brian Kelly today. Scott Ravelis tweeted this, but a lot of people, I'm sure, tweeted out this quote. He said, "There's trust within the group. This is the deepest team we've ever had." I don't know what that...
Go ahead. What you say, Mario?
No, I was just finishing the quote. He was talking about trust within the group. I don't know what that'll mean for expectations. Whatever the outcomes are will be evaluated externally. But it's interesting because year 3, he's been really good everywhere. He goes undefeated at Notre Dame in his 3rd year there. They go to the championship. Did the same at Cincinnati. Go undefeated. They go to the Sugar Bowl where they lost to Florida because he left to take the Notre Dame job. But now it's year 3 at LSU. That's when O won his championship. That's when Les Miles won his national championship as well. I think Brian Kelly is putting the onus on himself. And like I said, you like to see that confidence from your head coach.
You gotta love it, Mario. When your coach is confident, and this is year 3 for Coach Kelly. He's settled in. This is a lot of his recruits that's in these classes. This is as I mentioned, the quarterback in Nussmeier. He's someone who's now been in the program for 3-4 years now. So this team has a lot to be excited about, and it's so much to look forward to as we're getting prepared for this new season. Look, Mario, welcome to the new college football. Texas and Oklahoma comes over to the SEC, so this should be fun.
Yeah, it will be. And when it comes to LSU and kind of the big question marks for the team going into the season, I think you had to bring up the defense before anything. And Kelly today talked about kind of the imbalance with this football team last season and said being the number 1 offense in the country is not good enough. The numbers prove that out. We need that complement on defense, and I think we're making strides. And I think you're a good person to ask this because you played with T-Bob at least a little bit in the beginning of his career, and he talked about those Les Miles teams and kind of the vibe within the locker room. Like the defense knew they were the strength of the team, and the offense knew they had to do their part. If not, they're going to get all the blame. It feels similar here, but the other way around, right? The offense, while they're losing Jaden Daniels and Mike Dembrot, the coordinator from last year, the expectations for that group is high. With Nussmeier coming in, with what they have coming back at receiver, with Kyron Lacey and others, the defense is the unit that really needs to prove itself. And Brian Kelly bringing that up almost before anything else, I think really speaks volumes. Like Blake Baker has his work cut out for him this year.
He does, and I think he's up to the challenge. And I know for a lot of our fans and folks that just been following LSU, I'll just say the last 4 years, it hasn't been the full circle. You know, whether the offense is clicking, having a Heisman Trophy, winning quarterback, but the team isn't in a college football playoff. You start looking towards the defense and some of the historical games, right? You know, those historical games where against Ole Miss, you never had that many rushing yards put up on us. Start thinking about those things. But the positive is this group of guys, right? You have, this group of coaches. You have Corey Raymond back in that secondary, getting guys situated and making sure that team is intact on that side of the ball. You have up front, you have a double street. Not only do you have Coach Bo Davis, but you also have Coach Kevin Peoples. And, you know, those two guys, from the interior line standpoint and edge rush standpoint, you have two masterminds at the position. And then you mentioned Coach Baker, the linebackers, getting back to Patrick Queen and how he helped develop him as an interior linebacker. So that group is in good hands, Mario. I'm not worried about them at all. Now, the offense, of course, the expectations are high. The whole front, really, you know, top-tier offensive line, number 1 in the country. And then, again, we talk about how Nussmeier has shown us that he can be consistent, and now he's older. So it is a
and especially when it comes to his quarterback. You mentioned Nussmeier there. There's a funny soundbite. Don't have it handy right now, but Brian Kelly's making an analogy about Garrett Nussmeier, and he says it's kind of like a rental car. Like he was like a rental car last year. If you ding it up a little bit, no big deal, at least not for y'all. Those were his exact words. But now it's you own the car, right? Like Garrett Nussmeier is the guy, and his mistakes are going to be amplified a little bit more, but this is somebody who's gotten a lot of reps. And like we said, the Heisman winning quarterback is out the door, but the expectations for Garrett are really high, if anything, because he's been around that long. And I'm excited to watch him play, man. It's just been kind of in spades. Like, he'll look really good for a quarter or two, but I'm excited to see what he looks like throughout the length of a season.
Me too, Mario. like the ceiling is so high for him this season. He has the support. He has the offensive line, and that is important. But most important, and secondly, as important, he has weapons to throw the ball to. We know Nussmeier has the big arm. You have Lacey coming back, Angelo, Davion Westbank stand up. Marrero, what's popping over there? What's happening, small sliders, Marrero? Right, you have Marrero, Harvey Slash, very own Davion Thomas, who in the spring game, you see that speed and being able to stretch the field right up the middle of the field and make a big touchdown in the spring game too. So it's a lot to look forward to with this high-powered offense. And I like the coaching staff. I like the leadership with Coach Hankton and of course Coach Sloan coaching and helping his quarterbacks for sure.
We've talked a lot about Nussmeier. We've talked a lot about Harold Perkins on this show and on Gus's show. The third representative for LSU I think is really interesting at SEC Media Days, and that's Mason Taylor. Had an excellent season as a freshman. His numbers taped off a little bit last year, but this year with Garrett Nussmeier at the helm, people seem to think that he's going to have a big year. Like if you play college football, if you play fantasy football for college, Mason Taylor might be a good pickup. We know he's a son of a Hall of Famer, and his dad, who was a really good player for a long time, he's already proven to be a good college player as a freshman. Do you think we could see a little bit more of that here in his junior year?
I do think so, and I know last year, it may have seemed that he didn't really have the action that he's had in the past, right? And it's from his freshman year. I mean, look at those big plays. Look at the big play in the Alabama game. Final seconds, he catches the ball, huge, right? Last year, he played more of a role player. We didn't see him have it was a Malik neighbor and Brian Thomas show. Be on the lookout for him to have a more significant role. Yes, Mario, you are right. For my fantasy folks out there, he would definitely be a tight end I would put on my team. And I just think he's with the pedigree, right, and the exposure in playing SEC ball, I think he has a bright future, and this will be a good year for him.
SEC Media Days kick off today in Dallas. LSU goes today. So if you want to read up on everything Brian Kelly and all those guys said, you can do so. Nick Saban, now is an analyst, big fave over there at Media Days, gave LSU a little bit of love. He's been being really nice to his ex-team lately. But he said LSU could be a good sleeper team in the SEC this season. Depending on who you talk to, I don't know, sleeper is the appropriate term. But nice to see Nick Saban hop on the LSU bandwagon, I guess.
Yeah, Mario, he had time to reflect now that he's out of coaching and on the media side. And he looked back at his time at Michigan State. He looked back at his time at LSU and Alabama. And he has nothing but to be excited and happy about in putting LSU, I don't want to say on a pedestal, but like you said, a sleeper team. Like, he obviously played against this team under Coach Kelly for 2 years and lost one and won one. And I think he's right. I think a lot of folks are. We hear a lot of Ole Miss talk. We hear a lot of Georgia talk and how Texas and Oklahoma is just about to come in and take over the town. People are sleeping on LSU. I agree with Coach Saban on that one, for sure.
Mario Jerez alongside Big Fave Marlon Favorite, or alongside wouldn't be the right term. He's in Dallas. I'm here in Marrero. A couple segments left to go here on Inside the Trenches. We'll be back. We'll talk a little bit more NFL. We'll tell you about an exciting event we have coming up here at ESPN New Orleans 100.3. We'll be right back. This is Inside the Trenches.
Are you tired of looking at your old, grimy, and mildewy bathtub? Looking to replace it with a beautiful walk-in shower, but cash is tight?
Step Construction is here for you with a brand new offer. We now provide affordable storage sheds. Stop wasting your money on overpriced storage units and portable containers. Step Construction can provide you with a custom shed that will fit your budget and storage needs. So contact Step Construction today at 504-340-5809. for your own personal quote. Let us help you take the next step at Step Construction.
Hello, somebody. It's Marlon Big Favorite with Inside the Trenches podcast. Do you need a quick car wash? Well, if that's a yes, you need to visit Crown Car Wash, 1336 Stumpf Boulevard, Gretna, Louisiana, on the West Bank, baby. Crown's the best. You get A spotless wash, nice clean tires, reasonable pricing, and free vacuuming. My favorite part about Crown Car Wash, they open 24/7. That's right, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can visit Crown Car Wash on the West Bank, baby, and let them know you heard about them on Inside the Trenches podcast with Marlon Big Favorite Wright. Watch out there now.
It's that boy Fred, host of FanView Podcast. Tune into the NOTN app weekdays, 3:30 for the FanView Podcast. Go to NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com to watch more episodes of FanView Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch.
Well, hello, it's Marlon Big Favorite Wright with Inside the Trenches podcast. Are you looking for a brand new car? Or you're tired of what you're driving around in? Or you just need wheels? Well, if that's the case, you need to visit Montero Motors, 1512 North Causeway, Metairie, Louisiana. At Montero Motors, our buddy Alberto will get you in a vehicle that fits you that day with no problem. They have vehicles that are pre-owned. You can do a trade-in that day and ride off in something that day. Visit MonteroMotors.com for more information and let them know you heard about them on Inside the Trenches podcast. Hello.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
Are you looking for your dream home? Well, if that's the case, you need to contact Joe Picolo at Godwyn Realty, right here in New Orleans. Joe can put you in your dream home right away. Joe Picolo and the folks over at Godwyn Realty put you in the house that you need. Even if you're looking to invest in some property, they'll do an excellent job with that as well. Contact Joe today at 504-251-8341. Again, that phone number is 504-251-8341. And also contact Joel at joel.godwynrealty.com.
Marlon Favorite via telephone. Big favor over there at the Pass Rush Retreat in Dallas. We're talking a lot of football here today. And speaking of football, got some exciting news, and that is that the crew here at ESPN Radio New Orleans is going to have a series of remote broadcasts at the Boontown Casino here on the West Bank ahead of this football season. Our first remote is scheduled for next Thursday, July 25th. We'll be there from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Boomtown Sportsbook area. That's at 4132 Peters Road in Harvey. Come out, see the crew, talk some football. I don't know if you're a big casino guy, Big Fave, but I always like going to casinos ahead of the football season. Like, people are putting down money. People are excited that their team is about to start playing, sometimes putting some irresponsible bets on your home team. At least I do that sometimes. But these are exciting times, man, and it's going to be a lot of fun next Thursday night.
Oh, that it will be. Next Thursday will be fun. I can't wait. It's just so, it sounds like the football season just, voila, pop right back up. But it is back. It is kickoff. I'm excited about it. I'm definitely putting my app back on. I know Raphael Aspater had said that, hey man, Fave, don't waste your time on preseason betting. I think I'm gonna do it, Rap. I'm gonna do it, Raphael.
Oh my goodness. I remember interviewing Raphael like ahead of preseason games, like asking him about specific games with the lines, and man, that's some real degeneracy. But it could be a lot of fun if you get on a hot streak. Did you see the Ravens, Big Fave? It got snapped last season, I believe. But they had a stretch of like 4 straight preseasons where they didn't lose a game. It was unbelievable, and I made a little bit of money off of that. So I guess it can be fun.
Yes, of course. It is a little, because it's not like a lucky 5 wouldn't be bad, but it's not, how could I explain this to you? It's not one of those situations where you have to, how can I say this for better terms? It's not one of those situations where you have to put a whole lot of investment into the preseason. You can just warm up to be a regular season.
Well said. Ease your way into it. And before you even do that, you can get on this futures market. And I teased a little bit. I know you're not as big into the betting as I am, but I want to get your thoughts on some of these odds when it comes to winning the Super Bowl and winning some of these divisions in the NFL in 2024. The outright Super Bowl favorite, as it should be, is the Kansas City Chiefs at plus 550 odds. The 49ers right behind them at plus 600. The Ravens plus 1,000, 10 to 1. The Lions 11 to 1, followed by the Eagles, who are also at 11 to 1, and the Cincinnati Bengals at 13 to 1. That all sounds pretty appropriate. The Lions, I think, might have a tough time making it back, big fave, after they made the NFC Championship. But I think that's really good value with the Bengals. We talked about it on Gus's show Friday. If Joe Burrow is healthy, they are a Super Bowl contender. That's my opinion. So if I'm going to sprinkle any money on any of these futures, I might go with the Bengals at 13 to 1 to win the Super Bowl.
That's not bad. That's not bad. You mentioned the Kansas City bet is what it is, but we know with the weapons that they have on offense with Jamar Chase at the wide receiver, their offensive line has gotten better. And if you have a healthy season out of Joe Burrow, that's not a bad bet at all.
No, sir. And I didn't mention the Bills. They're right behind the Bengals at plus 1,500. I feel awful for Bills fans, big fave, and they've been really good the last few years. You know they're contenders there in the AFC. It must be nice for them to finally get over the hump and beat the Patriots just to win their division. But, man, just year after year, it feels like they lose in heartbreaking fashion. And it's normally to the Chiefs, but even spanning bad generations, this is the same franchise that went to 4 straight Super Bowls and lost every single one. So even when the Bills have been good in their history, it's been still kind of filled with heartbreak. And going into the year, I kind of feel bad for Bills fans. It'll be interesting to see if they could finally get over that hump this year.
Oh, no doubt. The Bills fans, and it's like they've struggled year in and year out, right? Think back, throwback when they lost 3-4 Super Bowls in a row. I don't know what it is. Shout out to the Bills. I do appreciate them for bringing me in free agency and letting me be a part of their roster for a short stint. But it's just it's tough. You had, you know, I mentioned Von Miller earlier on the show, working out with us out here at the defensive line, BC Jordan's defensive line camp. I thought about like his time with the Bills. You had one of these pass rushers. It was doing his job, just couldn't quite, get there. With finding his time there. You have Josh Allen, a quarterback that, man, once that dude take off running up the field, it reminds you of throwback Tebow, but he has the big arm. Now it's going to be you have Keon Coleman to throw the ball to and make things work out. So I'm interested in seeing how things are going to work out for the Bills this year. I don't think I'll bet on them.
Yeah, that's probably smart. And last year, too, with the missed field goal, they were right there before Bass missed that kick. Again, similar to how their kicker did in the 80s when they were losing all those Super Bowls. But those were the Super Bowl odds, and this is all according to ESPN Bet. Shout out to our friends at ESPN Bet and Penn Gaming. The AFC Conference winner odds, not many surprises. Big fave. The Chiefs are favored to win the conference, followed by the Ravens, followed by the Bengals, followed by the Bills at plus 750 odds. But the NFC odds are interesting for me when you look at the top 4, because the 49ers are favored to win the conference. Then the Lions at plus 550 odds are tied with the Eagles for the second best odds. But the third best odds are the Green Bay Packers at 8 to 1 odds. And I find that really interesting. This is a team that I think is a little bit ahead of schedule. Jordan Love had a really strong close to the season. But are you a little surprised to see the Packers getting that much love from Las Vegas? 4th best odds to win the NFC.
I'm really not, and I don't know if I'm being a bit biased. I don't mean to keep bringing up the pass rush retreat, but we have a couple Green Bay Packer players out here, and a guy like Rashad Gray could really take that defense to a whole nother level. His ability to rush the passer. So, you have your lockdown corners on the edge for Green Bay. The emerging of Jordan Love. He's really turning into a top-tier quarterback. I've even seen him mentioned as a potential inserted elite quarterback, right? In the top, he could potentially slide to the top 10. have some weapons around him and maybe develop a running game.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. And we'll talk actually quarterbacks in the next segment. ESPN Plus has a write-up ranking.
Have a successful season like we've seen a couple of times in the past when he played with the Raiders. So I would bet on Green Bay to do something. I don't think it would be a horrible bet. It would probably be like a medium bet for me. But I do think they have some potential to be pretty good. Depends on the young Caleb Williams. Is he going to be him, right? But, of course, you have a young J.J. McCarthy over at Minnesota, so the vision is kind of shuffled all over the place. So I'm interested.
Yeah. Yeah, Caleb Williams don't always dress like a him. Hello, somebody. I'm just joking. We don't have to talk about that. His wardrobe is questionable sometimes, but yes, that's going to be interesting over there at Chicago. And speaking of young teams and young quarterbacks, I'm starting to think maybe the Texans are a little overrated by the sportsbook going into the year. Really impressive year one, D'Amico Ryans and C.J. Stroud doing what they did in their first season. And they've had a loud all season. I know they add Stephon Diggs, but I'd be careful with the Jaguars in that division too. Still have Trevor Lawrence, still have Doug Peterson. Houston should be favored to win that division for sure, but fourth best odds to win the AFC at plus 750. I'm not sure if they could replicate all that success so soon in year two under Ryans and under CJ Stroud. How do you view Houston going into this season?
I'm very high on Houston. I don't even want to lie to you because they do have a really good defensive line, right? Even interior line. Shout out to inside the trenches. Another guy out here, Lee Collins. One heck of an interior pass rusher. So you have Will Anderson coming off the edge with a decent rush. The rest of that crew on the Houston, Derek Stingley. You start to have some big timers on defense. So you have more of a complete defense, right? A young, inspired coach in DeMarco Ryan, young coach DeMarco Ryan, and then everybody is waiting on, and even a friend of the show, co-host CL Nola, always says this a lot. What type of year two will C.J. Stroud have? Like, will he be that C.J. Stroud even better? Is it C.J. Stroud 2.0 sophomore year? We saw him just really take off this year and really push his team through. It looks like a veteran out there a lot of times. So I do think his ceiling is high. He has a lot of potential, and he has weapons. The kid we just talked about, Stephon Diggs. Hello, somebody. He's down there in H-Town. Hold up. So shout out to all my folks out there. We're praying for you. Shouts out to H-Town. 281. What's up? Hold up. All right, so I'll put my money on Houston. I really would, Mario. I think their team, they win that division, and once you get in the playoffs, it's just choo whoever can get it going.
Yep, we'll see. They're a fun team, and that is a fun city, to your point. Last play I want to look at here, the Saints win total is at under 7.5. And honestly, I think I'd go with the over there, big fave. I don't know if I would bet Saints to make the playoffs, which is at plus 190 odds here at ESPN. But 8 wins seems pretty reasonable. Even if you're a pessimistic Saints fan, you don't think they'll win the division. I think the defense, I think the offense even is good enough to get this team 8 wins. Like, that is a bet that I would make today.
I've been quoted on this show saying this before, and I'll say it again about this team, these players, and the way they're trying to put it all together. I do think the Saints can win 10 games. It's kind of hard to describe how they're going to get there, but you do have the second easiest schedule in the NFL, and you have almost that okay balance of veterans and young guys on the team. We talked about Isaiah Foskey trying to really turn it up and be very productive on this last going into his second year to do better than last season, and just having those young guys up front on the defensive line, guys like Brian Brucey, my ceiling is high for that kid. The Saints are typically good on defense, right? It worked that way, right, Mario? During the Coach Payton era, they handle the offense, and Coach Dennis
Big Fave, Marlon Wright joining me, Mario Jerez. This is Inside the Trenches. On the other side of this break, we'll discuss this top 10 quarterback ranking put together by Jeremy Fowler of ESPN+. A couple of surprises, especially in the top 5. We'll get into that right after this. This is Inside the Trenches on ESPN Radio New Orleans.
Get ready, Greater New Orleans area. The big one, the Great Southern Gun and Knife Show, is coming for 2 big days only this weekend at the Pontchartrain Center on Williams Boulevard. Show hours are Saturday 9 until 5, Sunday 10 till 5. Hundreds of dealer tables available, full of guns, knives, ammunition, holsters, gun, books, camouflage, jewelry, and related items. Hunters and collectors, this big show's for you. Buy, sell, trade, or just spend the day browsing. Ladies are especially welcome. Admission is just $11 for adults and $2 for children ages 6 to 11. Sorry, no one under the age of 18 admitted without a parent. Got any guns to sell? Be sure they're unloaded and bring them to the show. Thousands of buyers will be there. Instant background checks available for gun purchases. The big one, the Great Southern Gun and Knife Show. Show hours 9 to 5 Saturday, 10 till 5 on Sunday. Come to the Pontchartrain Center on Williams Boulevard to exercise your right to keep and bear arms. While you're there, be sure to register for the $50 restaurant gift card. See you there at the big one. Sure as shooting, don't miss it.
Golden Motors has the vehicles you need, whether it's a car, truck, SUV, or van. Golden Motors has it. If it's a commercial vehicle desired, we got it. Flatbed or service body trucks for your fleet or that hard-to-find full-size passenger van or cargo van, we got it. Serving our community for 70-plus years, making us proud. And we appreciate every single one of you. Golden Motors, Highway 3235 on the back road. And cutoff, price is priority. Chevy together, let's drive.
Are you a student athlete looking to take your career to the next level? Look no further than Conquer Sports Pros. Our team of experts will get you guys on the right path to your student athlete journey in life. That's right, we have every position in football you need, and we also help out with other sports. At Conquer Sports Pros, you have everything from a list of consultation, training, and also media training. Yeah, that's right. When you take your career to the next level, play college, and hopefully pro, you'll get lots of interviews. Call Conquer Sports Pros today. You can reach them at 504-319-6672 or visit marlonfavorite.com.
Attention commercial lawnmower contractors. Gravely's Mow Like a Pro sales event is on right now with special savings on the most rugged and dependable mowers on the market. For a limited time, you can save up to $2,000 and receive special financing on American-made commercial Gravely mowers, like the Big Pro Turn 600, the mower that set the standard for comfort and performance. But hurry, Mow Like a Pro is for a limited time only, and only at your authorized Gravely dealer. Check them out today at Neil's Small Engines in Cutoff, Thibodeau, and Homa.
My name is Juanita Segura. I've been living with non-small cell lung cancer for about 8 years now. Biomarker testing was a turning point for me. Visit noonemissed.org for more.
A public service message from Longevity Foundation.
Now, right now, New Orleans has a choice. Download the New Orleans Talk Network app for your mobile device or listen at www.neworleanstalknetwork.com.
Had to wait for the beat. That's a classic. Shout out to Jeezy. Big fave. I saw your boy Preston Guy on Facebook the other day. I know you have him on the show. Talked about when that song came out and how teams would play that song and then go out there and lose like 62-10, like Preston's team did apparently. So that was an exciting era.
It really was, man. And shout out to my homeboy Herman Johnson, played with me at LSU. And shout out to my homeboy Big Drew, Charles Alexander, played D-line at LSU with me. Man, let me tell you something, bro. I never forget. That song had just came out not too long ago. We was about to run our gases for Coach Moffitt. so Big Charles said, I put on, and Big Herm comes out of nowhere and says, 15 pounds. And then everybody took off running. It was so
That's awesome timing. Shout out to he was a beast, man. And I remember the CBS crew coming on when you were still playing, and they would like profile him. Apparently, he weighed like 11 pounds when he was a baby coming out the womb. So he's been a big boy his entire life.
11 pounds. I mean, he might run that back. I tell you, Hearn was like 18 pounds.
Man, big boys deserve love, man. No one knows that more than you. That's why the name of the show is Inside the Trenches. But we teased in the last segment this quarterback ranking put together by ESPN Plus and Jeremy Fowler. And this is an interesting list, Big Fave. I don't think it's too good to go over like everybody on this list, so we'll limit it to the top 5. Matt Stafford comes in as the number 5 best quarterback on this list. Then number 4 is Lamar Jackson. Number 3 is Josh Allen. Number 2 is Joe Burrow, which a little surprised to see Burrow that high. And number 1, of course, Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs. And just on the surface, Big Fave, my initial thoughts when seeing this ranking is Mahomes is on a Tom Brady trajectory. He's unlike anything I've ever seen. He still has his head coach and Andy Reid that I think he's going to be together with for a long time. So he's not going anywhere. Deserves to be number 1. I said it earlier in the show. If Joe Burrow is healthy, the Bengals are Super Bowl contenders. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins still there. Like, that is an explosive offense. If he is in the lineup, they're going to make some noise. And then maybe the only objection I would have is maybe I put Matt Stafford over Lamar Jackson. I know Lamar's a lot younger, has a lot more years left, but it's really impressive what Stafford's done with the Rams. Not just a Super Bowl year, but last year he only misses 2 games. He plays through some pain, and the Rams get back to the playoffs despite the fact they were supposed to be rebuilding last year. So I would have maybe given a little bit more love to Matt Stafford, but besides that, I think I'm pretty cool with the list. What do you think?
Matt Stafford, and he's a very interesting conversation. Good buddy of mine, coaches D-line with the Rams, AC Carter. He's out here coaching out here at the retreat with us. We talked about Matthew Stafford. He's a very interesting story. Shout out to the class of 09. Matt's one of the guys that came out with us. We're all at the combine together. Year, 14 for him, seasoned veteran, still a starter in this league. We've seen like Puka, one of his top receivers, have a great season last season. And let's be quite frank, you do have Coach Sean McVay over there. They kind of do remind me. Listen, New Orleans, do not take this in the wrong way. I'm not saying this to say it was the same thing, but their relationship and the way that it is from that balance of pro style and reason, Coach Payton. I mean, I think Coach Sean McVay is a very brilliant offensive mind, and then Matthew Stafford has seen every defensive breakdown he needed to see, and he plays a position smart. So I'll fight for him in that top 5 spot. There's a couple guys it's not a joke either. I've heard Dak Prescott pop up in there. You've heard a couple guys. I've even heard folks throw Jordan Love in there. So, I mean, you look across our league, I think that's somewhat solid, that top 5.
Yeah, I'm with you. And Dak, for what it's worth, is 10 on this list. Aaron Rodgers is ranked 8th on this list. C.J. Stroud coming in at number 7. We talked about him a little bit in the last segment, but I think number 6 on this list is interesting, and that's Justin Herbert, somebody who's put up really big numbers. We know he has the measurables as a quarterback, but 30-32 in his career. They blew that lead in the playoff game against the Jaguars a couple of years ago. I think the combo of him and Jim Harbaugh is really interesting. I'm really interested to see how that duo does because I think it's kind of high risk, high reward. Like, things can work out there, and maybe Harbaugh can maximize Justin Herbert, but if not and they continue to lose, I think that overrated label will follow Justin Herbert around a little bit, and this is going to be a really important season for him.
It really is. And I do feel that because what's the quiet whisper right now? Coach Harbaugh's going to come in there and really rejuvenate Justin Herbert's career. He has a big arm. He just didn't have any consistent weapons outside of Keenan Allen. So, I do pay attention to all of that. I do look at that from that perspective, and I'm like, okay, cool. No, we'll see. But who's that? Marvin Harrison? Am I saying that right? Marvin Harrison Jr. is
Yes.
that now, right? If I'm not mistaken. So you do have, they're bringing a first round wide receiver for you, first round weapon. And how they say, we gonna see.
Yes, we shall. And Aaron Rodgers, we mentioned, is number 8 on this list. I'm sure he'd probably have some beef with that if he were to read this article. But he's the oldest active quarterback in the NFL, and he's going to be the 6th quarterback in NFL history to start over 10 games as a 40-year-old, or 40-year-older, I should say, joining Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Brett Favre, Warren Moon, and Vinny Testaverde. I think his legacy is on the line a little bit here, not just because of what happened with him and the injury, but because of Jordan Love's success in Green Bay as well. This is somebody who I think has still got it a little bit, but I'm curious to see how much of it he's still got. Because the Jets have a good running game, I think, Big Fave. They have a really good defense. And if they can get Aaron Rodgers of old, they can be really good. But you're still careful because we don't know if he can stay healthy. And this is still the team that owns the longest playoff drought in the NFL. They haven't made it since 2010. So kind of a weird picture to paint for the Jets going into the year, but a really important year for Aaron Rodgers.
I really can't stress how important this year is for Aaron Rodgers to perform like the Aaron Rodgers we've seen for double-digit years in this league. A lot of speculation of him going into the season. Oh, he's going to turn the whole Jets organization around. Look what he did in Green Bay. And I am an Aaron Rodgers fan. When healthy, I definitely have him on my fantasy football team. Like, even if I have to have him on the bench, because Aaron Rodgers is just not firing off. But there was the injury. Now he comes back. Let's see how he looks. I do think he could have probably made it at a cool 10. And that's just because we're going off of what we know from Aaron Rodgers by putting him in the top 10. He didn't play last season. He is up in age. I don't know if this is going to hold him back or will he have a productive year. But I think 8 is a bit of a push. Top 10, yeah, because it is Aaron Rodgers, the active quarterback in the NFL. It is preseason, so we got to find something to talk about to start playing. But no doubt, I think 10, but 8 to push.
Okay, let's talk about the number 9 guy and the only guy we haven't mentioned here. We told you Dak was number 10. I think fair, excellent regular season quarterback, not a good playoff quarterback. So I think he's where he's supposed to be. Jared Goff comes in at number 9, and I think people label Jared Goff, Big Fave, as like a game manager, and they do that unfairly because the stats he's put up since coming to Detroit from LA, really impressive. Since 2022, Jared Goff second in the NFL in passing yards, 9,013, and second in the NFL in touchdown to interception ratio, 3-1. And this next stat should make Saints fans jealous. He's really good in the red zone. Jared Goff, the last 2 years, 18 touchdowns to 0 interceptions in the red zone. Should have been one more because they got screwed out of that touchdown against the Cowboys. That was a really bad call. But Jared Goff, even coming off of an NFC Championship game season, still has a lot to prove, I think. I think even though he's number 9 on this list, he can maybe make his way up this season with another good year.
He did have a bad year last year, especially with a target like Amon St. Brown. Elusive receiver, has good hands, has the speed. He has the running game. And most importantly, he has a head coach that how the youngsters let him do him. Jared Goff is somebody similar to Matthew Stafford. It's crazy those guys swapped it out. High draft picks, but kind of fell to the middle, to the back of the pack. Just looking around the NFL, a couple of few arguments. I mean, these different positions are so young. You got your Jared Goff of the world. You also have Kyler Murray, who has a lot to prove, would have shown he has a big arm. But, you look at Jared Goff from a winning position. You look at Jared Goff from having the ability to make everybody around him better. But he's a veteran. He has been in this league for a while. Similar to Matthew Stafford, he's seen a lot. So that's not bad. It's fair. Moving up possibly, but I do think if you look at Jared Goff's performance last year, unlike Aaron Rodgers, we've seen somebody that Detroit almost went to the show. So yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, and I'll never forget that NFC Championship game against the Saints. Like, yes, the no call is what people remembered, but Jared Goff showed some serious stones in that game, man, against a really good defense and a really tough crowd. So I could see him replicate that success. That's somebody I might pick up for fantasy football. But right outside the list, Big Fave, the very first honorable mention is Brock Purdy. And I think he's kind of a really tough player to evaluate, man, because sometimes he shows, I think, his youth and how raw he still is. But in clutch situations and late in games, he came up big for those guys. And he's 17-4 as a starter, which, regardless of how good you think his team is, that's, like, incredibly impressive right out of college. Where do you think Brock Purdy kind of ranks in the pantheon of NFL quarterbacks? Hey, Big Fave. Heard you just there. Are you there?
I got you, baby.
All right. We were talking about Brock Purdy.
We're in the middle of talking about. I think you cut off right when you mentioned Brock Purdy, but Brock Purdy just off the fact that Coach Kyle Shanahan is still over there. He's in the green, right? Because you get the same system that. You get the ball, first look, second look, third look if you have to, but the ball's coming out right now. Deebo Samuels, still have him on that roster, very explosive player. Brock Purdy is a fair assessment. I can't lie.
Yeah, we'll see. That team, man, is so stacked at like every position. It's definitely Super Bowl or bust for those guys. We'll see if Brock Purdy can build off of what he's already done. Again, 17-4. That's kind of crazy. So we'll see what they're able to do this season. Big Fave, Marlon Wright, joining myself, Mario Jerez. We are live from Small Sliders here in Marrero. One segment to go as we wrap up another edition of Inside the Trenches. We'll be right back to wrap things up here on ESPN New Orleans.
Attention contractors and do-it-yourselfers. You need to know Mayu's Vinyl Siding and Building Products. Yeah, Mayu's Vinyl Siding and Building Products is a family-owned and operated business serving the community for 25 years with a large inventory of vinyl siding and cement board, accessories, and trim. They also offer insulated and non-insulated patio covers, perfect for creating your dream outdoor space. Now, if you're looking for gutter coil and accessories, windows, interior or exterior doors, or trim and columns, they've got you covered there. And look, it doesn't matter if you're a seasoned contractor or just a DIY enthusiast. Mayu's Vinyl Siding and Building Products is your one-stop shop. Located at 13137 Mayu Lane in Hammond. Open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Ensuring that you can access all the
Stumpf Construction is here for you with a brand new offer. We now provide affordable storage sheds. Stop wasting your money on overpriced storage units and portable containers. Stumpf Construction can provide you with a custom shed that will fit your budget and storage needs. So contact Stumpf Construction today at 504-340-5809 for your own personal quote. Let us help you take the next step at Stumpf Construction.
Hello, somebody. It's Marlon Big Wright with Inside the Trenches podcast. Do you need a quick car wash? Well, if that's a yes, you need to visit Crown Car Wash, 1336 Stumpf Boulevard, Gretna, Louisiana, on the West Bank, baby. Crown's the best. You get a spotless wash, nice clean tires, reasonable pricing, and free vacuuming. My favorite part about Crown Car Wash, they open 24/7. That's right, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can visit Crown Car Wash on the West Bank, baby, and let them know you heard about them on Inside the Trenches podcast with Marlon Big Wright. Watch out there now.
It's that boy Fred, host of FanView Podcast. Tune into the NOTN app weekdays, 3:30 for the FanView Podcast. Go to NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com to watch more episodes of FanView Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch.
Well, hello, it's Marlon Big Wright with Inside the Trenches podcast. Are you looking for a brand new car? Or you're tired of what you're driving around in? Or you just need wheels? Well, if that's the case, you need to visit Montero Motors, 1512 North Causeway, Metairie, Louisiana. At Montero Motors, our buddy Alberto will get you in a vehicle that fits you that day with no problem. They have vehicles that are pre-owned. You could do a trade-in that day and ride off in something that day. Visit MonteroMotors.com for more information and let them know you heard about them on Inside the Trenches podcast. Hello.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
Are you looking for your dream home? Well, if that's the case, you need to contact Joe Picolo at Godwyn Realty, right here in New Orleans. Joe can put you in your dream home right away. Joe Picolo and the folks over at Godwyn Realty put you in the house that you need. Even if you're looking to invest in some property, they'll do an excellent job with that as well. Contact Joe today at 504-251-8341. Again, that phone number is 504-251-8341. And also contact Joel at joel.godwynrealty.com. No need to dream anymore. Godwyn Realty will put you in the dream house of your reality. Hello, somebody. Are you a student athlete looking to take your career to the next level? Look no further than Conquer Sports Pros. That's right, Conquer Sports Pros. Our team of experts will get you guys on the right path to your student athlete journey in life. That's right, we have every position in football you need, and we also help out with other sports. At Conquer Sports Pros, you have everything from a list of consultation, training, and also media training. Yeah, that's right, when you take your career to the next level, play college and hopefully pro, you'll get lots of interviews. Call Conquer Sports.
Work around the players' schedules. We do end up partnering and talking with, some of these coaches at these other NFL teams, or whether it's NCAA teams, they have good rapport relationships with them as well through Conquer Sports. So it has crossed my mind, but this, as a former player and having a good relationship with the coaches, man, Mario, it is legit. It's going to sound crazy to my listeners. It is a 25-hour, 8-day-a-week job. Like, you legit add another day.
Yeah. You ain't lying.
And I'm not saying so in the near future I would visit it, but for right now, I appreciate being able to broadcast and training on the side.
All right, interesting. Might have to revisit that soon. But I wanted to wrap up the show talking a little bit of basketball. We've talked a lot about the summer Pelicans. We haven't talked too much about the USA men's basketball team. And Kawhi Leonard no longer on the team. He got replaced by Derek White, which I think is a little questionable, but that's a conversation for another day. But it was interesting to see that Clippers president of basketball operations, Lawrence Frank, talked about Kawhi Leonard being pulled off the team and said that he was disappointed. You would think that this is something that the Clippers wanted to do, keep him safe, not risk him injuring his knee, which has been a thing for 74 years. But apparently the Clippers wanted him to play. USA Basketball did not want him to play. They're opening up a $2 billion arena this year. They don't have to share it with the Lakers anymore, which must be really nice. But this is really interesting, man. You would think the Clippers don't want him to play, but apparently they did. So Kawhi not on the Dream Team anymore, and the Clippers apparently not happy about it.
Yeah, I don't get that one. Kawhi always kind of moved a little different, right? But that wasn't a good move because at the very end of the day, this is a golden opportunity. It says that you're considered one of the most elite basketball players in the United States. So to just get that honest, I don't feel like playing. I'm going to go hop off. I don't know. Who knows this guy, brother? But I'm kind of upset because he would have played a very significant role in that game. But,
yeah, they're going to be yeah, exactly. They're going to be okay. I mean, you still have LeBron. You still have Anthony Edwards, who's doing work out there. And I don't think they're going to be challenged. But if there's another team, Big Fade, that I think can make some noise in the Olympics, maybe not win it, it's Puerto Rico. I don't know if you've seen the clips of Jose Alvarado killing it, making game-clinching threes and doing some dancing. But they also have Tremont Waters. Shout out to LSU. I'm sure you remember him from that tournament team a couple years ago that went to the Sweet 16. And they have Carlos Arroyo coaching the team, longtime NBA veteran. He was on the Puerto Rican national team last time they made it to the Olympics in 2004. So it's their first time there in 20 years. You have Alvarado, you have Tremont Waters. And I don't think they beat USA, but we were talking about futures earlier. If I'm going to make a risky play ahead of the basketball Olympics, I might put a little futures on Puerto Rico to win the silver medal because I like what they have going on over there with Alvarado and with Waters.
I don't think that's bad, man. And I think you make a very interesting point with the way Alvarado's playing. And shouts out to Waters. Waters on that LSU team. But you know, Silver isn't bad. Silver's not really bad for them, especially you think Puerto Rico, they don't really have a ton of.
No, they have none. Huh. So, losing you for a little bit there, Big Fave, but we're towards the end of the show anyway. All good. We talked a little bit about the Pelicans earlier, and they don't have a single player on the Olympic team, which on the surface isn't a big deal, but it would be nice to see Zion at least try to get out there. Like in past Olympics, you at least had Anthony Davis, you had Chris Paul. No representation, I guess, on the surface, not a big deal, but it would be nice to see Zion at least try to get on the Olympic team. Doesn't look like it's going to happen, but I guess we have to wait 4 more years to see New Orleans representation there.
Yeah, we'll have to wait, but I feel confident. Once it does come back around.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, Big Fave, this has been a really fun show. Like I said, you'll be back in the host chair next Monday. Before we go, why don't you tell the people what you're up to this week over there in Dallas and what they can expect?
Hello, somebody. Yeah, we're out here at the BC Jordan Pass Rush Retreat for all the defensive linemen. Good group of guys here, right at about 50 to 60 defensive linemen across the NFL. We do have a few Saints guys here. Isaiah Foskey is definitely one guy. So I look forward to working with these guys the next couple of days, just helping BT and the rest of Coach Buck and those guys out here. So this is where I'll spend my next couple of days. But I'm excited to get back to small sliders, baby, and I'm excited for the football season inside the trenches, back to 5 days a week next month. So there's so much to look forward to. And Mario, you, Tarek, and everybody, all our sponsors, thank y'all for everything. I appreciate you, brother, for holding it down.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And I'm part of your normal rotation of guests, so I'm excited for the show to be 5 times a week, especially during the football season, man. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we told you about it earlier, but remember that the crew here at ESPN Radio New Orleans will have a series of remotes at the Boontown Casino here on the West Bank ahead of this football season. Our first remote is scheduled for next Thursday, July 25th. We'll be there from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Boontown Sportsbook area, 4132 Peters Road in Harvey, Louisiana. Come out, see the crew, talk some football. We still got a couple of minutes left in the show, Big Fave, but that was a really fun segment going over the futures there in the NFL. This is a really exciting time of year. Like, everybody's optimistic, everybody's undefeated. It'll be fun to kick it off with the crew and with everybody that comes out over there at Boontown Casino.
I can't wait. Y'all make sure y'all make y'all way out there. We're going to have a crew there. Mario, Gus, St. John's going to be in the building. Boomtown on the best bank, the West Bank, baby. Mario, those future bets are cool. We're kicking the season off. I cannot wait till next Thursday at Boomtown, baby.
Me neither. It's going to be a good time. And you can catch the Sports Hangover with Gus Kattengell tomorrow on this very station. Had some technical difficulties today with the lightning, but Gus will be live from Las Vegas tomorrow. So check that out. I'll be filling in for Gus this Thursday and Friday as he calls the Pelican Summer League games over there in Las Vegas. So I'll be talking to you very soon. Got a couple of summer league games left for the Pelicans. Got preseason games coming up in less than a month. So these are really, really exciting times if you're a sports fan. No more soccer games. They crowned a couple of champions yesterday with Argentina and with England. The sports watching going to be really scarce here, Big Fave. Like, maybe if you're into fighting or USC, you can find something on the weekends here. But I'm jonesing for some football, man. It needs to hurry up.
It needs to hurry up. Shout out to NCAA coming back out. That's going to hold us down for a little bit. But I'm for sure excited for football season. And then, we still got the WNBA going on and, the Olympics. So we got a little something to hold us down. Hello, somebody.
Hello, somebody. Thanks for the time, Big Fave. You have an awesome evening, man.
I appreciate you once again, baby. You know we love it. You heard me. Small sliders, everybody over there, Tarek, the whole crew, man. Y'all keep the party going. Mario, man, you're the man, brother. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Right back at you, Big Fave. I am Mario Jerez. Shout out to Tarek for setting everything up. Had a great time here tonight. Catch us again next Monday, 6 to 8 p.m. Big Fave back in the host chair. Thanks for tuning in. Hope everybody has a wonderful Monday night. Mario Jerez signing off here from Small Sliders in Marrero. You've been listening to ESPN Radio New Orleans and Inside the Trenches.
Sink or tub stopped up?